Hello, welcome back to Losers Bracket Round 2 of Blood Rush League. Today we have Sauna versus Rushers with Winterfell playing Nurse for Rushers here in Dead Sands. It looks like we're running Ruin, Undying, Corrupt, and Thanatophobia. We're looking out for survivors now. Um, we have a first chase here with Ace, spotted in the Corrupt Gen spread. We get a follow-up hit. Undetectable from our add-on. Looking around the jungle gym. Ooh, Undying going down very early in the match. But looks like B2B managed to drop chase, and we have Winterfell looking for another survivor. Hopefully Ruin staying in. But, oh, it looks like we found B2B's ace right here in the edge map. Will we get a hit here? Good patience not to send that second blink. Getting that charge in. 1, 2. Ooh, slightly short. Very good by Ace. And unfortunately, we do lose Ruin right here, about 2/3 of the way into our Corrupt. And Ace should be... My my bad. It looks like Ace did a really good double back there around the corner, preventing the Nurse Lunge from hitting him by breaking line of sight. Will we get Ace here? Ace finally goes down at the map edge, and we'll get our first hook of the game. It'll be a hook here by what looks to be a pretty decent 3-gen right now, if Winterfell chooses to hold it. I expect the survivors to have the gens maybe at around 40-50% at this point. At least a gen around there. Yep. Looks like the gen here, I believe, is that I think that's either 11 or 8. It's, I think, 11. Sounds about like 70%. They unhook Ace, which is, I think, around 2. Gen pops, we have 4 gens remaining. First gen of the trial. We spot Ace here. Endurance running off very shortly. Unless, obviously, Endurance extension is in effect. But I don't think Ace has it. Never mind. Ace does have extra Endurance. Taking the hit, running towards the edge map here at 3. Another gen pop. Ace go down here. A good double back by Ace. Making enough distance to not get hit by the second blink. Very good stuff from B2B. Well, should have enough distance here with these blinks, but Ace is doing a really good job, but gets caught here for our second down of the game. And a hook here by 4. Oh no, we're getting hooked by Shaq here in mid. And that will be our Ace put on second hook. Our other survivors finish another gen, 2 gens remaining. Very strong stuff by Sauna's survivors here. Strong gen pressure. Getting a pick here on this gen by 7. Oh wait, no, sorry, this is at 2. We spot Claude. Very good hit on Claude. Claude making her way towards the hook. Will they do a hook trade? Claude just gets the unhook. We're going to chase Ace now for the tunnel out, hopefully very soon. We're probably just going to eat the BT hit here and then catch up with more blinks. Endurance in effect, getting some extra movement speed from that hit. Will Ace make it away here? They're an edge map and unfortunately go down. A very quick pickup on Claude here. And Ace will be our first sacrifice at 2 generators remaining. Very good stuff from Ace and Sauna for getting as many generators done before the first sacrifice of the trial. Will Winterfell find someone else here? Looks like their gen was about 20% here. Oh, we see a survivor in the distance. It looks like it was Tap. It is Tap. We're They're taking the chase away from the generators. Oh my, a very strong firecracker there, catching Nurse as she appears from her blink. Very good stuff by Tap. Using that flashbang to break chase, Nurse is forced to go back to her gens. She wants to keep the pressure up. However, I think they spot Tap again, who ran back around, trying to get back the generator to apply more pressure. Oh, is this Claude? We spot Claude here. Very good hit on Claude. Getting that injury, getting the undetectable, possibly making getting another hit here by catching a survivor off guard. However, our 4th generator of the trial finishes, and we're down to our 3 gen. It's looking pretty good for Sauna survivors here. However, it is Nurse, and it could change very quickly depending on if Winterfell is able to catch survivors off and get those really fast downs that Nurse is capable of doing. The gen here sounds about 50%. Like it's maybe around 30 to 40. We spot Tap again, pre-dropping that pallet. Was that life? Could have been, maybe? I'm not sure. Didn't get to fully see that sprint. However, Tap might be getting very unfortunate. The blink not going through the wall, and we ended up blinking in place. That would have been a very clean flick if the blink did go through there. I believe Winterfell is really feeling the gen pressure the survivors are putting out. 1 gen remaining with 3 hook states on the board. It's looking very good here for Sauna. They're pressuring multiple gens here. We can see this gen is also about 30 to 40%. Setting it to regress. We're blinking back to our gen over here by, I believe, 2. Mm-hmm. Gen is still being worked on. Still regressing. Survivors haven't stopped the regression. They do get the reset on Claude. We see some stretch marks over here by this generator. We catch once again Tap off. However, will we turn it into a hit? Tap is running towards the edge map, playing around this wall here. Barely misses the hit. Very unfortunate. However, we did expend 2 blinks and a lunge there, so the recovery will be a bit longer. Both blinks are back here. Will Winterfell continue chasing? It looks like they'll decide to drop the check the generators again. They really need to get another hook going on here, or at least multiple injuries across the survivors. Ooh, this gen is looking quite progressed now. About 75%. Where are the survivors? No scratch marks. The survivors are doing an excellent job of stealthing here. Winterfell checking the lockers to see if any survivors are decided to hide in there. However, they are forced to just regress the generator, having to patrol back to the other one, which I believe Tap would have probably returned to, and we could see them running off in the distance there. But we're doubling back to this gen, hoping to catch a survivor out. We do see the scratch marks of Nia. Will we get an injury here on Nia? We have no more blink charges remaining, so we're going to have to wait a bit. Nia running across the edge map here, trying to get Nurse away from the generators. Ooh. Very unfortunate swing there. Didn't spend that second blink charge, which maybe would have guaranteed a hit if they did. But it means that the blink is up again. The last generator finishes. And a very good hit on the Nia here. Will we potentially maybe see another down here? Yes, we do, and Nia goes down. Will Winterfell decide to hook this? And it looks like they are. This is potentially savable. However, we will be getting our 4 hook stages so far with 2 fresh hooks. A 2-person save here is possible. However, it is decently far from the gates, and it is a Nurse. We see the gates, lights are flashing there. The gate should be opening very soon. We have someone lurking here for the save. It looks like it's Claudette. We'll get an injury here on Claudette, forcing her away. Looks like we will continue chasing the Claude here, hoping for a down. Claude falls, takes that stagger from the fall and goes down. Looks like Winterfell's gonna patrol back to the hook here, hoping to maybe find Tap. If they're able to get Tap down here, we have Nia and Tap. They're making their way toward the exit gate that looks like it was about 99. Nia goes down. It's all up to Tap now. Will this potentially be a 4K0? Just barely misses. Tap gets to the exit gate. They'll open it, and I believe they get out here. Buying some time for their team, potentially to get in position for Hatch. However, 2 survivors are down here, and Claude Boyk gets up with Unbreakable. And we will be hooking Nia here. Very good stuff from the survivors. Buying time for Claude to Unbreakable away. And it looks like we'll be getting Nia here for our 6 stages with 2 fresh hooks. Very solid play here by Sauna. Let's see how they do on Killer, which I believe will be played by Kirzap. See you all soon. Hello, welcome back to Blood Rush League Losers Bracket Round 2 of Sauna versus Rushers. This time we have Sauna playing Nurse here on our first for our first set. We have Cares Up on Nurse, and their win condition is 7 hook stages. Let's see how they do. They stood still for a second there. I think maybe some settings, fixing some settings. Fair enough. We're looking for our survivors. We have Pop, Erupt, Call of Brine, and Corrupt Intervention. Very strong perks here. Very, very, very solid gen regression. Looks like we spot a survivor here by the edge map at 9. Ooh. Moon's Claude making some distance here after the missed lunge after the double blink. Oh, sorry, this is 3. Second blink was kind of short. Hello, welcome back to Blood Rush League Losers Bracket Round 2 of Rushers versus Sauna. We are on our first set, and the second game of our first set with Sauna playing Nurse. We have Kirzep here, and their goal is 7 hook stages for the win, or 6 hook stages with 2 fresh hooks for our tie condition. At the start here, we have John Wick getting into chase with Nurse. Nurse getting a very early tag. Good stuff here. Corrupt only 1/4 of the way done, with our other perks being Pop, Erupt, and Call of Brine. And Corrupt ending right here as Mr. Wick goes down in Shack. It looks like we'll have a hook in basement. Very strong hook position here, right in the center too. And our first charge of Pop is active, with our first hook stage coming in at 5 gens. Very, very early into the match. Spot a generator here with slight progress. However, we opt not to spend Pop. Instead, we go to around 9. Get a hit here on Winterfell's David. Winterfell using that injure movement speed to get some distance. Will we get a follow-up here? Both the blink charges are available. First blink hit. Very, very good stuff by Kirzep. Such precise blinks. And our second hook of the trial is going to happen now. Our first charge of Pop, however, was not spent. Our hook happening here by around 6. And they did manage to get Alan out of basement and fully reset. However, we do spot a gen here, and it's gonna eat a Pop at... Oh, this is... Yeah, eat a Pop at 6. So that hook was at around 8. Yeah. Cool. holding the blink here between the very progressed gen and the hook. Such a good position to be here for Kirza. Going to just apply Eruption here and another Call of Brine. Call of Brine, such a good info perk for holding like a gen spread like this, where you're able to access the gen with like a blink or two. We do spot a survivor here by this generator. And a survivor by the hook. They're going for the unhook here. Will this be a hook trade? Very good patience here by Nurse to like lunge around to dodge David there. David does get pulled. Will we see a tunnel out? It looks like David is the tunnel out. However, they do miss that blink. However, they have this blink charge coming back up. Sir Moon taking a hit there. Not letting go of the gen right away. And I think Moon goes down here. Very good stuff by Kirza. And our third fresh hook coming in with our third hook stage by 6. Once again, right next to the very completed gen, and it eats another pop, going from 70% probably down to about 50. We spot Winterfell. Will we get the down here? We do. Very, very amazing blinks by Sauna's Nurse. A gen does finish, as the first gen of the trial finishes, actually. We have 4 generators remaining. 4 hook stages here. Just 3 more hook stages for our win condition. Or 2 more hook stages for a tie condition. Holding the blink here by Shaq. Spots Adam. Blinks forward. Second blink. Will it connect? Adam runs in and takes a hit. Safayette using that hit movement speed to hopefully make it to the hook. Will they go for a hook trade? They try and they go down. Our second generator finishes. However, Alan here is the last survivor standing. It's in a very precarious position here for rushers. Will they be able to recover from this position with 2 survivors on a hook and 1 survivor slugged? It's not looking the best. Moon going to her second hook here, as we have hit 5 hook stages. This one being 6. We spot Alan here. Will we drop a survivor? We do. Alan making a run for the hook here. Will they get it? They'll take a hit. They'll get the unhook here, but go down. Winterfell going to now run, trying to get that. Gets very fast pickup there. However, no wig left, and they go down, and all survivors on the floor now. Will there be an unbreakable play in this game? We'll see shortly, but I believe we have hit our tie condition and very shortly our win condition if we just hook 1 more survivor. And with this hook, we'll secure the first set for Sauna. Very good stuff by Kirzep here. And it looks like there will be no unbreakable. There is a deliverance, however. Safayette unhooking themselves here with Delhi. Will they make it to Moon? They don't. However, they do make it to Alan. Will we see maybe a play for Hatch? Maybe attempt at another gen? Our Delhi player goes down here, and we're hunting down our last survivor. We do spot them, and I think they will be going down very momentarily. And they go down at 4, and that'll be a 4K3. Very good stuff by Kirzap. Amazing plays by their Nurse. Very precise blinks gets them the win and the set. We'll see you guys in our next match. Our second set of I believe is Spirit on Ormond 2. I'll be back momentarily. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League Round 2, Sauna versus Rushers. We have our second set here of Spirit, played by B2B for Sauna. And we're playing in Ormond 2 here. Let's see how they do. So we have Sloppy, Painrez, and Corrupt, and Dragon's Grip, which is a very fun perk. A lot of explosive potential here. Ooh! Spirit finding Nia here, crouching by the trees. Chase is taken main. Will Nia make the pallet? She does not. Nia goes down, and we do hear a generator going in middle. Adam taking a hit here. Running outside of main. Spotted by the door. Will we get him? And Adam does go down. 2 down. So very early in the game. Very good stuff by B2B there. Pretty much unfazing on top of the survivors. Adam will be our first stock of the trial as our first token of Pain Res is spent. They do pick me up before B2B can get back. A noise notification is activated. Probably a heal being cancelled. We hear Nia. We see a blood trail, and Nia goes down, attempting to hide in the rock. And we'll be seeing our second hook of the trial here. However, it will not be a Pain Res, so Nia still has her Pain Res token. Adam is unhooked. And Spirit comes straight back looking for Adam. However, finds Ada in this TNL. Ada tries to make it to the T. However, she gets hit despite Spirit's 4.4 movement speed. Spirit in pursuit. We'll probably see a phase very soon here. Okay, here we see the phase. Will Ada's playing the pallet. Will she get the stun? She does get the stun. However, she's on the wrong side of the pallet and still goes down. Very good read here by B2B. And our third hook of the trial here, spending Ada's Pain Res token. We're looking at patrolling our generators, possibly looking for Adam. Adam would be the ideal target here, being already on first hook and injured. However, at Shack, we see a very, very progressed gen, about 90% done. Spirit kicks it, applying Dragon's Grip. We spot the leader here. However, we decide to opt to drop, but the leader, not knowing of Dragon's Grip, proccing it, and Spirit comes phasing back. Well, we get a hit here. No, a stun from Thalita into a blind. Champion of the Light, 20% hinder. Thalita using this to get some extra distance, but Phase is going to be back up very shortly. Thalita faults the window. However, once again, B2B unfazing, like, directly on top of the survivor, giving them such little time to react. Thalita will be hooked here by Shack at the 6 o'clock hook. Spending our third Pain Res token of the game. All 4 fresh hooks secured. And we see a phase back into main. The main gen was being worked on, so is the gen here by between main and 6. Oh, sorry, main and 4. Going upstairs into main, keeping an eye out for survivors here. We spot Adam still injured, vaults the TNL, tries to vault back, but gets a medium vault and goes down here. Will we see Adam's Pain Res spent here? Oh, wait, no. Sorry, it's Jen. Jen Sneha is the one still with the Pain Res token. My bad. But Adam does go on their second hook from the stage. A possible tunnel out is on them. Oh, we spot Ada here. Ada tries to play this filler. However, she takes a hit as B2B does a little red stain fake there. Ada does not drop the God pallet up here in main. Will she get down here? I don't think she'll make it, and she does go down for our 6th hook of the trial. Still 5 gens in. Such a commanding lead here by B2B, setting up such a strong mid-game. Adam is pulled here. They probably are looking to reset. However, Sloppy Butcher getting that extra value here, slowing down the resets, keeping survivors injured, which Spirit really likes. getting that extra blood trail and those grunts of pain, making it a lot easier to track survivors while phasing. We see Thalita here lurking the unhook. She takes a hit here by the pallet. Goes for the stun, however, does not get it. Oh, well, no, gets the stun, but still gets down. I believe some OCE to EU ping there, probably, coming into play. Very unfortunately. Talita gets dropped as we do spot Nia here. Zoning Nia away from Shaq. Will we get a hit? No! Just short of that window. The 4.4 movement speed coming into play there for sure. Nia gets hit here, and Ada runs towards Shaq. We opt to pursue Nia, fakes the phase into the pallet to dodge the stun, then backing up to hit Nia there. Very strong stuff by B2B. We'll see our fourth pain res here, and in the middle of that chase, our first generator does pop. Chase is coming up here by main. The pallet is still up. Spirit opts to drop the chase. Pallet does get dropped despite Spirit not turning the corner. The pallet won't be kicked, however, as Spirit isn't there, so the resource is still available if the survivors manage to get there. However, Adam jumps down, dodging the lunge, but doesn't make the pallet and gets hit by the second lunge going down here. An unhook happens. They try to heal under the hook. However, Spirit is back immediately as Moon vaults into Spirit's arms here. Very unfortunate for Ada. And I believe this will be our first sacrifice of the trial, four generators in, with 8 hook stages. Very strong play here by B2B, getting their first sacrifice at 8 hook stages in, but only with only 1 generator still being completed. Such solid pressure. Ooh. Thalita getting hit through the window there. Perhaps once again I have a feeling of maybe Ping got her there. It's probably on their side they were already past the window when they got hit. Very unlucky. However, very good stuff from B2B to capitalize on a mistake like that. They are maybe looking for the last survivor, however, decide to go for a hook on Thalita instead. Hooking her here by 9. Will Nia be able to recover the situation for her team? Breaking the door here by mid, and then picking up Adam. A generator does finish. Nia getting a generator done, making it a possible 4K3 instead of a 4K4. However, it looks like because of the positioning, her position, she won't be able to make it to her team. Spirit almost catches her here. Very good read by Spirit to come here. And she does get downed. I don't think Unbreakable is in play currently, as Adam hasn't picked themselves up, and Nia is picked up almost instantly. A hook happens, and Nia will be our second sacrifice of the trial. Phasing back to Adam here. We'll probably see a Mori happen. Waiting for the sacrifice, and the Mori happening here to secure a 4K3 for Sauna here. Such a commanding round by Sauna, getting their survivors a very, very achievable win condition. We'll see how Rusher's Killer does next, and I'll be back soon. Hello and welcome back to Blood Rush League Losers Bracket Round 2 of Rushers versus Sauna. Here we have Morgan playing Spirit for Rushers. Their name not showing at the top, but it is Morgan. We'll see how they do, having to achieve a win condition of 4K4 or a tie condition of 4K3, which is pretty challenging, but still achievable, I believe. We'll see how they play. Our first chase happens here at Shaq. Very early first hit here on Renato, unphasing directly on top of him. Very good stuff. Morgan phasing by the window, perhaps using that husk. Ooh, very good block here. Sorry, very, very good pallet stun by Renato. Phase happens. Oh, trying to bait that window. However, it doesn't happen. The beamer happens. Champion of the light, 20% hinder. Another phase. Oh, Renato running past the phase spirit. However, does go down here. Very good stuff. Our corrupt ending. It looks like we have Baneres, Erupt, Corrupt, and Dragon's Grip. Our first generator finishes, putting us pretty much at our win con. It's gonna be tough here, but a snowball can happen as our first Baneres is spent on Renato. The main generator finished. Looking for our next survivor. We see a generator here going to kick it, putting Dragon's Grip and Erupt on it. Looking. And we do spot the unhook. We see Renato, who got reset very quickly. No Sloppy Butcher here to slow that healing down. Dragon's Grip does proc on our generator here on one of our survivors. Renato lurking directly behind Spirit here. Probably wanting to take chase here. Getting an injury happening. Will Spirit chase Renato or pursue the generator here? It looks like they're going for the generator, feeling the pressure to stop as much gen progress as possible to maybe achieve a win con. Getting some red, hiding our red stain a bit here. Claude vaults the window. Will we get a hit here? I believe a Firecracker was just used. Expose is no longer in play. Oh, trying to find Claude. A loud noise notification does go off at that generator in the corner there. Phase happens. No sight of Claude. Very good stealthing by Claude there, immediately dropping chase. Going back to our generator here at Shack, hearing it quite progressed. Getting a kick in. The survivors do know Dragon's Grip is in play. A generator finishes, which means we are now at our tie condition. We spot a survivor here by 8. Will we get a hit? Ooh, it is both Ada and Ace. Pallet goes down. A generator does finish, which means, unfortunately for rushers, Sauna does take this set and the match as 2-0 for Sauna. But our game isn't over here yet. Let's see if there are any other stuff that happens throughout this game. An insta-down here on Ada from Dragon's Grip. Eruption hitting both Shack and the generator at 4. Ada going into basement. And we break our pallet here in front of Shack, giving the survivors a bit more of a dead zone when approaching and leaving this area. Ooh, we spot Ace here. Vaults the window. Vaults the window back. Unphased into a swing, however, it's slightly short. Ace making it away unscathed there. It looks like Morgan is going to play for the basement hook here. Survivors coming in to try and save 2 survivors here by basement, which means only Renato could be doing a gen right now, which is slowing the gen progress down of the survivors, relieving some of the pressure here. Claude coming in for a save. However, she does not continue into Shack. A generator finishes. 2 hook stages on the board with 1 generator remaining is quite tough. However, it is a basement hook. We're going to see our basement player in basement going to their second hook stage, giving us 3 hook stages on the board with a very rough 3 gen, as that third generator is on the other side of the map from where we are here in Shack. We are looking for a survivor here. We hear Claude. However, she evades the phase strike, drops the pallet, and we are making our way back to Shack. The unhook does happen. Will we see a tunnel out here on Ada? Body blocks happening, trying to stop her from getting to that window. She will go for the window, and however, her endurance is worn off by the time she gets there, and she does go down. Very solid body blocks. Ooh. Trying to get Claude here. Window does block. Will we see a beamer? A beamer is around, but it does not connect. We're going to see Ada hooked here in basement, probably, to secure our first sacrifice of the trial with 1 generator remaining. Claude is in basement here. She does go down by the locker. Is there potentially a head-on? No. Claude goes down. Probably buying time for her team there. The last gen does pop, with our 2 gates being at 12 and 3, I believe. Ooh, Renato, pretty sure that was sprint bursting away. Dodging that sludge, barely. Vaults the pallet. Nurse may zone him away here for 7 hook stages. Just going to play for that defense in basement. They might just take the outs here, as they pretty much have already won the match. Very good stuff from Sauna Survivors here, and a very good attempt by Morgan here. Sauna Survivors just played exceptionally well with their gen pressure, and B2B on their not Nurse Spirit got such a tough win condition here for Morgan to try and beat. I do believe we'll see the gate opening shortly and survivors leaving. Unless they come to play for an unhook, which, I mean, is also respectable. However, Claude does go on the second stage here. Getting our 6 hooks of the trial with, I believe it's 6 hooks with 3 fresh. If Claude dies, it will be 7 hooks with 3 fresh here, and I believe the gate is open and we'll see both survivors leave. Ace is out of here. Renato's probably leaving very shortly after. Yes. And that will conclude our match. And yeah, giving the win to Sauna. Very good stuff from both teams. And hopefully we'll see you again next time for another game of Blood Rush League. Thank you for watching.